Hello and welcome to this week's edition of the Side Splitters. My name is Lyle.
And I'm Andy.
And we're back.
Yay!
We are back.
We are without technical problems or nothing. I think I got this whole internet talking to people thing figured out.
God. Andy's a dinosaur for people that don't know when it comes to anything that's technology outside of video games. And I don't mean...
Fuck my life-asaurus, that's what I am.
And I don't mean like gaming PCs neither, because he knows nothing about them neither.
Well, yeah, you buy an Alienware, right?
God. If it's not an Xbox, or do you even know what PlayStation looks like?
Yeah, it looks like an Xbox.
Yeah, if it's not a console, Andy cannot deal with it. And sometimes even the consoles are difficult, like when his headset decides to die, and I go, "Don't worry, Andy. Remember we used to do this show with your Kinect on your Xbox. Let's just use that." Well, all of a sudden that don't want to work neither.
Yeah, I mean anybody that gets peripherals. Okay, first of all, moment of silence for Mad Cats. All right, that was long enough.
Yep.
The Microsoft brand peripherals, if it's not the controller, it's not worth buying. I'll save everybody that headache right now. Love you, Microsoft. Hate your peripherals. They're all terrible. Die in a ditch. But I don't really have any other replacements that I could recommend. So, just don't buy Microsoft. The end.
Well, I could recommend for headsets G-Skill, Ripjaw's G-Skill. But I'd imagine
Ripjaw's what?
G-Skill. That's the brand. It's usually a brand name that makes RAM for your computer. You know, memory.
Oh, not the animal.
No.
Okay.
Not the animal. Before we go too far off onto the peripheral talk, I want to touch on something. So we are back. We're not only coming back from the whole lack of episode last week because of Andy's dinosaurish ways, but we're also coming back from the crossover episode that we did prior to that.
Yeah, which was a lot of fun to do, by the way.
An absolute blast. I want to thank Countdown to Geektown, the guys over there, Eric and Jesse. Those guys are great. So glad they agreed to do that with us because it was a blast.
Yeah, it really was.
And meanwhile, we got to take a step out and see what someone else would do with our show. And that was fun.
It was actually fun. There was a couple things on there that I was just like, wow, is this what we sound like? But like, no, that's not us. As people who might have heard our version of their show might attest, my southern accent's not that good.
I'm kind of surprised that no one has mentioned a single word about that.
Really?
I was kind of anticipating someone saying something like either one of those guys or one of their fans saying something on their Facebook, or no one has said a word, which leads me to believe either no one really cares as much as we thought they would, or no one actually listened to that episode because we were on there.
I could imagine them like waiting through the opening theme and then hearing us and be like, oh wait, I must have like a bad link or something like that.
Yeah. Speaking of opening theme, I really like what they did with our opening theme.
I actually kind of did like that too.
That was a nice touch.
Yeah, and honestly, like the thing that got me was like their clickbait news. Oh man, was that a train wreck? Okay, so hold on, because even they have to acknowledge this. Like there was a whole lot of just like people dying things. It's like that's not funny at all. That's just tragic.
Yeah, it was all like straight up murder.
Yeah, just people just killing each other, and even like the ones that now me. I don't know if it's a blessing or a curse that I could find almost anything hilarious. Like, I can find humor in just about anything. So for me, I was thinking like, oh, well, obviously they're going to point this out. And then they're just like, wow, people are sick. People are just terrible human beings. Like, well, yeah, but like, okay, the story with the parent hiring somebody to assassinate a baby in a McDonald's. I loved that one. Like, I really did. Because, yeah, sure, they're, scumbags or whatever. But, like, yeah, those two were missing the big picture. They failed to assassinate a baby. Like, how badass is that baby? That, like, a grown adult with a gun could not kill this baby.
Or maybe the assassin was just that bad.
No, that baby was badass. He, like, looked at his parent and went, here, hold my binky, and then, like, just went to town.
HMB.
Hold my binky.
Yeah. Oh boy. So yeah, that was that. This week's clickbait news, by the way, which will come later. We do have, as promised, an all Florida edition. I figured since I never did Florida, I've been holding out on Florida ones for a while prior to the crossover episode. And then the crossover episode didn't have any either, and they even said something about people in Florida are just batshit crazy. And I was like, oh, good. Either they already knew that, or, the stereotypes are working through our show.
Right.
So I was like, well, time to, uphold that idea. I'm giving them an all Florida one. So something to look forward to later on in the show. All Florida clickbait news. That could be fun.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, make sure you stick around for it. It's a doozy. But yeah, so aside from that, that's the rest of the show is going to be the way you remember it. It's not going to be two Southern guys. It's not going to be, it's not going to be good, is what I'm trying to get at here. It's going to be me and Andy again, and I'm sorry.
Yeah, although to be fair, you all had this coming.
Let me just derail this hype train right away. This is, it's us again, guys.
Yeah. Speaking of hype trains,
the transition.
Yeah, look at that transition, man. That is glorious. See, this is how professionals do it.
Right.
Yeah. So I got a question for you, Lau.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you've been following it or not, but like I am super stoked and so hyped for the new Injustice 2 game coming out next week. I'm a big fighting game guy, and I like that I'm also a big proponent of loot systems in video games. I play Borderlands, I play Diablo, I play, whatever, like even Resident Evil Revelations is like Resident Evil with a loot system. Oh my god, like I played that for hours. And putting it in a fighting game now is just like, two great tastes that go great together. Officer Reese's. I mean, just what it adds to the formula. And I kind of like the idea that, they kind of use gear based off the characters, like other outfits and stuff like that. So you can actually kind of mix and match outfits that the characters worn over the course of their comic book careers as well. With armor shaders and stuff like that. Like there's a lot of customization that goes with it, and it affects stats, and I am just so super stoked to play this game. Like I have not been this excited for a long time.
Like,
oh my god. And they have such obscure characters in there, like Swamp Thing, Cheetah, like, I want to play this game.
You don't even need me right now. You could just do this whole thing by yourself.
Yeah, I just want you to hold open the Superman comic, this Death of Superman comic, while I nut on this middle page right here.
Oh, you mean not the Return of Superman comic? That everyone
No, that one I used on the other side of my body.
Right. Let's not get too nerdy.
I meant toilet paper.
Let's not get too nerdy.
Right.
Go ahead.
My question, I don't know if you have any interest in the game or not.
Okay, that was what I was going to ask. Like, what are you asking me here?
Twofold. One, have you been keeping up with the game? Are you looking forward to it at all? Like, I don't know with your PC or whatever, if you're actually going to be playing this thing or not.
Okay, so I have a confession to make.
Okay.
As of right now, I am definitely still a PC gamer. Let me just go ahead and answer your question real quick. No, I don't give a damn. So right now I am.
That's easy enough. Shit.
I don't know. I never really cared too much about the first Injustice game. I was just kind of like, it's there and it's neat, and I'll wait for it to die down before I'm not going to get hype over it and play it and be all creative with combos and everything like that and not have anyone to play with. So it's just like, whatever. And, people liked it and they were like, hey, we're making a second one. I'm like, well, now it's too late. I'll never be good at it. So, in other words, I don't care. Could not be bothered. If someone was like, hey, I just got this new Injustice game. You want to play it? I'd be like, sure, Andy.
Lyle. I'm going to have this new Injustice game. You want to play it?
Maybe sometime. But the confession I wanted to make. So while I am still a PC gamer, as a matter of fact, uh, uh, I'm pretty hyped myself for something coming out for PC. I'll touch on that in a minute. Something I was hyped for earlier in the year, I finally went ahead and pulled the trigger on, and that was the Nintendo Switch. And
Yeah.
I was hyped for it before it was called a Switch. They had a project name, and God, I don't even remember I think it was Project Revolution, if I'm not mistaken. Although that may have been another Nintendo project before.
No,
I
it
don't
was
know.
The NX.
That's what it was. NX. Thank you. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So the NX, and I was pretty excited about it then. I was just like, oh my God, they're going to come out with a new system. It's not going to be the Wii. It's not going to be the Wii U. Hopefully, it's not going to be motion controlled or a tablet. And then they release it, and it's like, look, it's a tablet. I'm like, oh God, no. But then I watch the trailer and I see all the different things you could do, and I'm like, wow, this is really neat. So you just drop it into that port, and it goes right to your TV. And then when you're like, all right, don't want to play here anymore, let me pick it up and go play on the bus. You can just pick it up, and you don't. That's so cool.
Come on, be honest with me. 9 times out of 10, you're taking it out of the dock to take a shit.
I'll touch on that in a minute. So, so once I seen the commercial for it and everything, I'm like, wow, that's awesome. Oh my God, a new Mario game. Oh my God, they're gonna add Skyrim to it. That's cool too. I mean, I already have Skyrim on like 2 or 3 different platforms, but one more will work. So, I was just kind of like, yeah, whatever. And then I seen that they were coming out with a new Blaster Master game, and I was like, wow, I used to really love that game on the old NES. So that's cool. And I was just like, come on, just show me what I'm looking for. Show me that slight glimpse of Samus or Mother Brain or any kind of anything from Metroid, and give me the 2D Metroid game I'm waiting for. And they didn't. So that's when I was just like, this can wait. So, I mean, as soon as they did, I was just going to just go nuts. I was going to camp out. I was getting my hands on one of these Switches. But they didn't, so I didn't have to worry about it. And I gave it time. It's a new thing I've been doing, because sometimes the hype can get a little too risky for me. I will get aboard the hype train, and I will ride that bad boy into the ground. Because, I am one of the poor souls that bought a specific game called No Man's Sky.
You poor bastard.
You may have heard of this game. Oh my God. I played that game. I think it's on my Steam library right now. Let's see. I played No Man's Sky for a grand total of 11 hours. Now, it was a $60 game, and I was completely deathly ill for that 11 hours, so I don't remember any of it. I just remember like the first hour, and then I remember going back to it for a little bit and going, what did I do in this game for 11 hours? So yeah, it's just, anyway, I have this new system in place where if I get hype about something, if I get excited about a game or something like that, I will put it on a wish list of some sort if that's available. If not, I'll kind of give it 2 weeks and see if I'm still excited about it. And in 2 weeks, if I'm still as excited about it as I was, I'll consider buying it. And
Okay.
that will take longer if it's a more expensive game. If it's, an IP or something like that I have no experience with, I'll usually wait for it to completely come out and have other people give their opinions on it first. Just all kind of stuff like that. Recently, I bought NBA Playgrounds. I used to be a huge fan of NBA Jam back in the day. And then NBA Street I liked. NBA Hang Time I liked. All the arcade NBA games I used to like. I used to love Blitz. I can't wait for Mutant Football League to come out later on this year. That's
God, I hope I can play that.
You can, just not at the same time us PC guys can. Anyway, as a matter of fact, us PC guys can actually play it right now if we donate $1 to the page. We get a demo version. That's besides the point. So what I'm getting at here is, I have no idea. Right. So I put
Derailed your own hype train there.
I did. So I was looking forward to the basketball game, and I was just like, yeah, I'm going to give it a week or two. So I gave it a week or two, and I bought it, and I was like, yeah, cool. And one of the reasons I bought it was because I like the Switch. I like what I can do with it. One of the things that I did with it when I first seen things was, because I was seeing that you could just take it out of the dock, and you could just immediately start playing whatever, and I was like, let me hear what other people say about it first. Let me let it come out, see if it has any defects to it, if it melts, or if it bends, or come to find out it does, but that's besides the point.
True.
Yeah, apparently if you leave it in a dock too long, it will start to bend a little bit. So I tried not to leave it in a dock too long. Which is fine, because I couldn't tell you how many times I'm laying down playing something, on my TV or whatever through the dock, and all of a sudden, like, I'm playing Zelda Breath of the Wild, and I'm just like, it would be much more comfortable if I was laying on my back playing this game. So I was like, I don't have to worry about what would be comfortable. I'll just pick it up and lay wherever I want to play it. Or I have to poop.
There it is. Knew it.
Yeah, so the other cool thing was, there's multiplayer games. And with multiplayer games comes the option to play with other people. You can play online and everything, that's always fun, but something that I've always missed as a gamer is the ability to sit on a couch with friends and play a game and really get into a good gaming session with like 2 or 3 friends for hours on a couch.
Yeah.
The Switch kind of tries to bring that back because now, this hustle and bustle world that we live in now, especially as adults, we don't really have the time for that anymore. And why would you? You have internet and all that stuff, but there's still a certain charm to it. So, Andy, if I were to come to your house right now, I can bring my Switch, just the Switch, nothing else. The entire console can just, boop, it's with me. It's literally as big as a tablet. I can bring it right to your house, and I can take it apart, and now we both have a controller, and we can start playing NBA Playgrounds right there. No wires
That
needed, no
sounds
docks needed, nothing.
amazing.
Yeah.
Actually, what I really wouldn't mind is playing the Street Fighter.
That's what I was going to get to. That is the game I am kind of hyped for right now, is the Street Fighter game. I have told myself that I'm not allowed to buy anything else for the rest of the month because at the end of the month, Street Fighter 2 comes out for the Switch. It's Ultra Street Fighter 2 New Challenger Edition, Final Edition, .5. I don't know what it's called, but
Damn that Capcom.
yeah, seriously. How many years has it been and they've been doing this to us? The point of the matter is, it's a new Street Fighter 2 game, and I'll be able to do what I can do with my basketball game on the Switch right now with Street Fighter, and that is going to be amazing. Because I can literally take it to friends and be like, hey, you remember that game that you refused to play with me because I'm so good at it? Well, here you go. Now you can play it while we're, out at the mall.
Hey, you with your wife? Hey, does she have to use the bathroom? Cool, play me real quick.
Exactly. And that's the thing, man. Another issue I was concerned with was like, I'm so used to playing with an SSD on my computer. For those that don't know, that's a solid state drive instead of a hard drive. And basically the difference is a hard drive stores everything. Consider drives like a giant warehouse, right? And where a hard drive is just a person looking through that giant warehouse for information that you're asking for it to look for. Like, hey, load this game. Okay, it's going to look through all the boxes of the warehouse for that game. And it's going to take as long as a person would take to find that thing. Whereas the solid state drive is more like the flash running that warehouse, so it won't take long at all. Same amount of space,
Yeah.
same amount of boxes, much faster person searching for it. So, things could be a little quicker. So anyway, I thought with that it was going to kind of put a damper on the gameplay value of the Switch because I don't have that, lightning quick speed anymore for loading screens and stuff like that. It's really not that bad, and I don't know if it's just the games that I've been playing so far or what, but yeah, I have not had that issue. Like, I pick it up, I push the power button, I wait for 3 seconds for the system to boot up, and then I, push a button, and I'm into the game already. I'm like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah, I used to love that. The Xbox One has like this instant on feature for it, to where like all you got to do is just turn on like the controller, and the system just boots up. Like there's no load time or like oh please wait. It's just it's on, and which is fine and dandy. I liked it when it first came out, but then I had too many issues where if I did it too many times throughout the course of the day, like turn it on, turn it off, turn it on, turn it off, I would have issues like loading apps, like it would like freeze or bug out, and then I would have to restart the system anyway. So I'm like, well, fuck it. If I gotta restart the system so damn much, I'll just not have the instant on feature and just turn it off.
Yeah,
turn it off proper, turn it on proper.
The Switch has both a sleep mode and a power off mode. Sleep mode I will use when I put down a game like early in the day and I know there's a possibility by the end of the night that I might pick it back up again. And the power off feature, I've literally used that as it turned into part of my nightly ritual where, most people's nightly ritual is, hey, look at your phone, set your alarm, plug your phone in, go to sleep. Now it's, hey, look at your phone, set your alarm, plug your phone in, shut your Switch off, go to sleep. And that's it. That's me.
I'm glad that you two have such a loving relationship with each other.
I
Does your wife know?
She does, and she approves. She actually really wants me to get to Mario Kart for it.
Oh.
Yeah, she's been like, "Get Mario Kart, we can play. It'll be so much fun." And I want to, but it's again, I am spoiled by PC because Mario Kart is a $60 game, and it's not even a
Yeah.
brand new game. It's a port.
Well, then hell, you're not gonna like me for the Injustice version that I pre-ordered. It's like the Ultimate Edition, so I dropped 100 on that bitch.
Look, I will never, well, I will more than likely never spend extra money on the ultimate supercharged deluxe edition of video games. I think it's kind of ridiculous how people are saying, oh, it's totally worth spending an extra $50, $40 on it just because I get this figurine in a book that I'll never look at. Um, but that's my opinion. If you are so much of a fan that you want to have those collectible things, and I know for a fact you are, and I know you enjoy your collectibles and everything like that, Andy, I will without doubt say that deluxe editions of video games were made for you. So,
I have been burned before. There are ones that I do regret picking up, but
as I'm sure will happen, but at the same time, I have been to your place, and my God, I have been to your place, and I have been to this quaint little store in this small town in New Jersey called Richland, and the store is literally called It's a Toy Store, and this store had no, had no intention of going here, but we're going here. This store is a collectible store, pretty much. It has toys, it has movie memorabilia, it has comic books, it has all kind of stuff. But if you go into there, it's literally a house that someone converted into a big store. It's pretty much a nerd museum for collectible stuff.
that's what it feels like. Yeah, it's more like a museum that you could buy the exhibits.
Yeah, exactly. So, I seen that place and I seen your place, and I feel more like your place is the more notable museum as opposed to this toy store. Granted, the toy store has a lot more rarer stuff and more expensive stuff, but you you are definitely a room in that toy store, if nothing else.
Yeah, I mean, I've accumulated quite a few things over the years.
I'd say. You have a
Yeah,
bookshelf
I'm
that I don't.
as I stare at my GameCube sitting on top of my PlayStation 1.
You have a bookshelf that I'm sure may or may not have books on it, but I do not remember it for the books. I remember it for the stacks of Magic cards, Magic the Gathering cards, and the board games all over the place.
Yeah, board games, Magic cards, books, at least 5 Playboys. Yeah, there's 5 there. And a couple other magazines, comic books. Yeah, no, it's actually the one shelf finally like collapsed. I gotta fix that.
Aw.
I know, right?
So that's my point with that. But to answer your original question, the game that I am definitely on the hype train for, and I have no problem being on it, and I have been and will continue to be until it is literally in my hands and I'm playing it, is the Path of Exile 3.0 patch, coming hopefully in July.
And see, I love that that's not even really a game. You're looking forward to a patch.
Absolutely. This game is literally going to double in size. They are saying, hey, right now you guys have 4 acts and 3 difficulties to play them in. You have, normal, you have cruel, and you have merciless, which is normal, hard, really hard. We're going to strip that down, so there's only 1 difficulty, we'll just call it normal, and we're going to give you 6 more acts to play with. That is awesome.
It sounds pretty good.
That is double the content in 1 patch. More than double, really. Not to mention, with that comes more bosses, with that comes more ways to farm, and more things to grind, and new abilities, and new items to unlock, and all kind of stuff. It's just, oh my god, I can't wait.
And most importantly, a console release, eh?
Yeah, I said it before, and I'll say it again. I am happy that people on console are finally going to be able to play this game. I don't understand how it's going to work. Look, I've said it before. I don't want to talk too much about Path of Exile on this stream or on this podcast because it won't stop. You'll get me going, and you won't stop me.
Well, I mean, you let me worry about how it's gonna run there, Lemmy Lamb. I'll get back to you.
Yeah, I just
Meantime, I'm gonna be beating up Batman with with Swamp Thing and calling it a day.
yeah, it's just it's 3.0 is definitely what I'm looking forward to the most. And the best part about it, I don't have to pay a dime. So I don't have to do my whole, let me wait 2 weeks and see if I still want a strategy. No, I can just jump right into it. Don't have to pay anything. I can right now, well, not right now, but I can in the beginning of June, the very beginning of June, I can pay money to pretty much pay the developers for what they refer to as a founders pack at the beginning of every patch or league or season, whatever you're used to hearing. They start some new type of gameplay where they reset everything and you can start over again. That's fun. And they always have some sort of founders pack to go with the theme, and with that pack comes all kind of aesthetic stuff like shimmering footsteps that'll be a color that goes with the theme of whatever they're doing, or a new set of wings or so. I don't have any of them. You can unlock them in game by doing certain challenges and stuff like that. Those ones I have, some of them, but I certainly don't have any of the stuff you have to pay for. Well, I do have some stuff that you have to pay for, but I never paid for it. Is what I'm trying to say here.
Pirate, you thief!
Oh, I didn't say I didn't give the game money. But I also have learned my lesson from playing free-to-play games and going, well, it's not like I'm paying to win. I'm paying to play more of the game. Marvel Heroes was a hell of a drug.
Like 1,500 hours worth of a drug.
Hours, dollars, whatever. Anyway, so yeah, that's all I'm going to touch on it. As far as something I'm very hyped for, definitely the new Path of Exile patch 3.0. That's something I'm super super hyped for.
Actually,
Aside
there's
from
a
that,
movie that I'm hyped for.
oh, well, for me too. Yeah, go ahead.
I cannot wait for freaking Marvel's Infinity War, man. Like that is.
Okay, no spoilers, dude. I still haven't seen Guardians.
No, that's fine. That's
Okay.
fine. No spoilers involved. It's just that was one of my favorite comic books series in Marvel that like raised the stakes and had like genuine oh shit factors for me. So the way that the Marvel Cinematic Universe is shaping up, having all these characters that we've been like introduced to and fell in love with over the course of these movies, coming together and fighting a big bad, I'm like, oh crap, man, I cannot wait for it.
Yeah, man. I mean, if it was the 90s and you told me, hey, in the future they're gonna release an X-Men movie, that alone, I would be like, you're out of your mind. That's never gonna happen.
Right.
They've been talking about a Spider-Man movie for years now, and that hasn't happened. So get out of here with that X-Men nonsense. I wouldn't have believed you. And then, if you were to further tell me that not only were they going to release an X-Men movie, but it was going to do so well that it was going to spark this phenomenon that was known as the superhero movie and just start its own genre where there are so many movies being made that it has to be categorized in its own genre. No longer just an action science fiction movie, but it is actually a superhero movie. And now we have characters that are so obscure, such as Doctor Strange or Ant-Man, in their own feature films. That is baffling to me. Or Guardians of the Galaxy, for that matter. If you would have told me that Guardians of the Galaxy were getting their own movie in the future, I'd have been like, you're out of your mind, but I bet you Vin Diesel will be in it.
Wow, you had a lot of foresight as a youngin'.
I mean, come on. Really? If it was a science fiction movie and it was nerdy, Vin Diesel was going to be in it. And if it wasn't Vin Diesel, then I would have said Bruce Willis.
I was going to say Ron Perlman, but all right.
Yeah, but see, I'm talking before superhero movies, so we're talking before Hellboy.
Oh, he was in Alien Resurrection.
Was that before superheroes?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I could say something, you would probably believe it, but it couldn't hold water.
Yeah,
that's where I'm at.
That's accurate. I'm not really sure about the timeline. I know the first two Alien movies were in the 80s, and that's about it.
So good too.
Oh yeah. But
can't wait for the new one. All right.
That's what we're here for.
That's... I feel like we haven't really left Countdown to Geek Town.
Yeah, let's it's purged out of our system. Let's talk about something completely different. Let's kind of turn the wheels here a little bit. Yeah.
A little bit.
Okay. I have something that I found on Reddit earlier today.
Surprising.
Yeah, it was an Ask Reddit that I seen it, and I was just like, that's kind of interesting. I wonder what Andy's take on this would be. Um, so this is still kind of a weird culture thing that we're going to touch on. Not necessarily nerd, but you'll understand in a second. What are some weird subcultures that you just don't understand? Weird to you. I don't want to offend anyone. PC. What are some weird subcultures that are strange to you that you just simply do not understand?
I mean, I think it's a fair assessment to say that any weird subculture is something that I can't understand. Um,
Okay. See, I totally get that. And I want to just touch on something real quick. As I seen that, I'm reading all the top comments, and there's bronies, which are, adult male My Little Pony fans. And there's juggalos, which are adult male Insane Clown Posse fans. That is just males, right? Like, what's the word? Isn't there a word for women as well?
yeah, Juggalette.
There you go. Not bashing on any of these. Fresco, you're safe with me, buddy. I'm just. These are weird cultures, and I simply do not understand them. Furries was another one. They got a really weird turn, and listed something called Columbiners, which I will get into in a second, which is just.
Columbiners?
You know what? I'm going to get into it right now. So, okay. Columbiners are, and I had no idea what it was either. I looked at it, I'm like, that's really weird. I know what part of that word is, and God, I hope it has nothing to do with that. Sure enough.
Sure enough.
It is a subculture where it's mostly teenagers, and from what I understood, I could be wrong, mostly teenage girls that are kind of obsessive over the concept of school shooters. And I know this is going to turn really dark here, but they, idolize people like, I can't remember their names off the top of my head, but the two kids from the Columbine shooting. That is like a god to them. And part of me is just like, that's really messed up. But the other part
Yeah,
of
just
me,
a tad.
the other part of me is just like, okay, I know it's definitely based on those two guys, regardless of who you idolize after that. Like, that's kind of like saying, like, oh my God, I love Eminem. Yeah, well, Elvis did it first. So, so, but, so clearly there is a branch that you got to go down, and eventually you get to the source, and it's just like, that's the one that started it. And I'm not saying that they were the first person to ever fire a weapon in a school. What I am saying is they are definitely the most known school shooters. So that's probably the top one that they all idolize. And what I find fascinating about that is, at most, a teenage girl can only be 17 years old. 18, you're technically an adult. That's not who they're referring to anymore. So at 17 years ago, Columbine happened, which means they were born on the year that happened. How much knowledge do you have on the subject? Like, you didn't experience it. Why do you like it so much?
Yeah, and honestly, like, what kind of exposure do you get from, like, friends, family around you that, like, as you're growing up, like, how do you even hear about school shootings? Like, when would you do the research for it? Like, do you just, like, look up, like, random Google articles and be like, man, I wish somebody would just shoot in the school. And then, like, you look it up on Google, and then after you're flagged by, federal agents, you, like, watch, like, like all these news articles and stuff like that talking about these school shootings, and you're like, like, having one of those dreamboat moments where you're like, oh, Birdie, or what the hell was his name? Conrad Birdie?
No, you
Bye
lost
bye
me.
Birdie.
Oh, yeah,
Not a theater person, are you?
no. I mean, they don't really
Yeah.
have to go too far for it. They turn on the news, and if there's a school shooting, everyone knows about it. Yeah.
True. Yeah.
So you go on the front
But
page.
even
of
then,
the-
like, how do you get in that mindset? Like that.
Yeah, that's something. What they, people were trying to explain it. They were like, look, we don't agree with it, but here's what I can only imagine is what is going through their head. They see these people as like the anti-hero, whereas they are going against the very thing that is going against these people personally. So they're kind of relatable, in other words. Like Columbine was a thing where two people were getting bullied too much, and all of a sudden they were like, well, we're going to fight back against all these bullies, so they bring all these guns to the school and they just shoot the whole place up. That'll teach you guys not to bully us anymore. And the Columbiner is looking at that going, oh my God, they fought against the bullies. How brave, you know?
Man, I don't. There are times I just don't want to live on this planet anymore.
Well, yeah, it gets
Oh,
worse.
I bet. What else you got then in this category of subcultures?
Well, before it gets too crazy, I just want to say that I was going down the list, and obviously the further down you go, the less popular voted the comment is. So, it's not as good, but I'm still reading because I'm still finding out new stuff. And then I get to one that kind of hit home a little bit. It was Twitch chat. And it was kind
Oh,
of,
pray tell.
it was funny because I was just like, well, wait a minute. I participate in Twitch chats. So I looked into it, and it was just people saying like, yeah, I don't understand how people can, follow something that is going by so fast, and you don't even understand what people are saying because it's going by so quickly, and you might be able to get
Agreed.
a word in here or there. And then someone said something that was just like, I didn't even need justification for using Twitch chat. Like, I see it and I think it's hysterical because, yes, you might get a sentence out of all that, but that sentence you get is something like, so funny. It's great. It's just hysterical to me. And it might just be all one big inside joke amongst the entire community, but it's still a community with an inside joke that I understand and I'm going to laugh at. So whatever. We're not hurting
Fair.
anyone. And I mean, to be fair, I guess, bronies aren't hurting anyone, juggalos aren't hurting anyone sometimes. Furries aren't hurting anyone
Sometimes.
sometimes. Columbiners aren't
Sometimes.
hurting anyone. That's not
Oh,
good. The point of the matter is, Twitch chat is not hurting anyone. But it's neat. So I didn't need any justification, but now I have a way to justify it to others because some guy on there was just like, well, hold on a second. He said, take a look at a football stadium, okay? And imagine it's Super Bowl. Not even. Imagine it is, week number 5 of the NFL season, okay? And you have the Cleveland Browns going against, I don't know, the San Francisco 49ers. Two terrible teams last year, okay? No one really gives a damn about any of them. Just diehard
Well,
fans.
it depends on how you look at it, because technically a 49er,
No.
they're used to being covered in soot. So, I mean, they're like,
Stop.
I guess
Stop right there. No. 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 You stop that right now.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought this was the thing we were doing.
No, editing season is not for another couple months.
Oh, all right. Well, fair.
Anyway.
You're welcome.
So you take two teams like that, and even though they're not the most popular teams in the world, they still have their fans. The crowd still gets pretty filled in, It's still enough of an audience that you can hear a roaring crowd cheer. And in that cheer, you know what is happening. You know there are thousands of people talking, saying things, even if it's screaming things. You don't know what they're saying, but you know they're talking. And it's just so many of them that you can't hear any of them. But you know that they're talking. Now go to the Twitch chat again. And it's, the final matchup for the TI7 for Dota, the big tournament, okay? The Twitch chat is going so fast you can't see a single thing, but all those people are cheering. And that is the audience in the football stadium going nuts because the teams are playing each other. And it just blew my mind when I read that. I was like, oh my God, that's perfect. That's exactly what that is.
Although, now that makes me wonder, like, what kind of information could a stenographer get if you put one in the middle of a stadium and say,
Type.
yeah, type, go ahead.
They type out Twitch chat. But then someone else did make another fair point. They were like, yeah, you know what? It's not even just that, though. It's people that will literally sit there and say the word kappa in a vocal communication exchange in front of another person. Like if me and you were just sitting in front of each other, talking to each other, and one of us made a joke, and that person also at the end of that joke said kappa. It's kind of silly.
I don't get the Kappa thing. I never did.
That's the point. That's the point the guy was making. He really didn't understand it in writing. He didn't understand it when people would say it. I don't really understand it when people say it. I don't really have experience with that. I might say it to someone else that I know will think it's funny because, it's being ironic or whatever, I guess, or sarcastic, whatever.
I guess.
But I certainly wouldn't say it's you. I might now, but um,
I instigated that. I'll admit it.
yeah, the Kappa thing. It was like the first emoji on Twitch that really got popular, and it just kind of stuck.
All you have to be is the first. You don't have to be the most popular. You just have to be the first, and
Yeah.
then popularity will come.
Actually, there's a thing they do on Twitch where every single day, there is a different person, one person, chosen at random, one Twitch account at random, that if you type in Kappa in any chat, you'll get a golden Kappa.
Wow.
It's like hitting the lottery. Some people don't even believe it exists. I'm one of those people. But it doesn't
I
stop us from
mean,
checking. Every time we're in Twitch chat, I'm just going to type Kappa just to see. Nope, gray again. Maybe next time. Maybe
man,
tomorrow.
that's something I would go back to. Like for the longest time, I would just use Twitch as like background noise while I did something else.
Oh, it's fantastic, and that's exactly what I do. Especially now having the Switch, I can watch Twitch and play the Switch. It's great. Um,
Stop doing things that rhyme.
yeah, if that's not an endorsement, I don't know what is. But no, seriously, it's neat because I can watch whatever Twitch guy I follow. Lately, it's been this guy Arcus87. I'm just going to touch on him briefly. He is the Bob Ross of speedrunning.
Like very calm and
Extremely calm and just vocalizes everything that he does. Like he speed runs Ninja Gaiden for the NES, which is
God bless him.
yeah, exactly, extremely difficult game. Not only does he hold the world record, but he is very close to getting a new personal best, which would beat his own world record. 11 minutes and 40 seconds flat is the world record. Um, it's
Whew.
it's really impressive to watch, and there's no hacks or anything like that used. He's just going through the game, and it's impressive to watch. But anyway, it's neat because he'll be sitting there and he'll be like, and we'll just jump over here and spin here and spin there and spin everywhere. And we'll jump here and slash and slice and dice. Nice. And we'll jump here. That's exactly what he does, dude. I'm not even joking.
Man, that is insane. I don't know what it is. There's people like that do that voice that like me personally, I don't find it soothing at all. I find it unnerving.
Like, what has that man been through?
Yeah, like honestly, like the whole Bob Ross thing. Like I don't understand the Bob Ross thing. I never. I don't think I ever will. But I know that kind of like calm, deliberate speech unnerves me to no end. And I don't. It's supposed to be calming. I realize that, but it doesn't calm me down. It's the same thing with like children's laughter in the middle of the night, man. That is just
Oh, here we go.
that is unsettling. Ugh.
For me, Bob Ross was always the thing for me because my grandfather and I used to watch it, and he used to just have it on, and I never really went nuts over it at first, but then eventually you just kind of get hooked, and you're just like, wow, this guy's really good. I want to be like him. I want to be a white guy in his, mid-50s or 40s and have a monster afro and occasionally talk about how my wife abuses me.
I mean, you got half of that right.
I don't have an afro, that's for sure.
Yeah, you don't have an afro.
Yeah, I don't look. I realize that people watch Bob Ross because of the soothing thing, and like I said, I watch it for a bit of nostalgia too. But just after watching it, after getting my nostalgia fix, I paid attention to it as well. And some of the things the dude says is just like golden. Like he will sit there and he goes, oh, "Okay, we're gonna take this midnight black and this Prussian blue, and we're gonna mix it together and get like a nice dark black and blue color." Kind of like what my face looks like whenever I backtalk my wife. It's just you lose it because he's just so calm, and then he talks about his wife just beating him. I don't know,
Wow.
it's funny to me. And it's, or he'll say, let's just make like a nice little tree here, a happy tree here, maybe some happy critters living there, like some happy squirrels, and he paints the picture physically and metaphorically, where he's literally painting the scene for you as well as the picture, and it's nice because you're just like, oh, you can imagine happy squirrel there, and maybe you get bored with that really quickly, so he's like, maybe a happy squirrel lives there, kind of like the one that's in my pocket right now. No lie, dude will pull out a squirrel from his shirt pocket and be like, this is Pocket Pete. I took him in to raise him, and he's now a happy squirrel.
Oh
And he
man.
just holds a squirrel out with the palm of his hand, and the camera zooms in on it, and it's just straight up a squirrel that was in his pocket, and calls him Pocket Pete.
Like, not a stuffed animal, just like a
No,
legit
it's a
squirrel.
legit live squirrel, and it's his. That's what he used to do. He used to always take in animals and like bring them back to health, to full health, not to
Bring it back
life.
to life.
Yeah.
Pop Ross, the necromancer.
He used to bring them back to full health and release it back into the wild again. And he would always talk about it on the show. So yeah, there was definitely some gems in there with him with what he would do. So that's another thing I liked about it. But anyway, back to the subculture thing.
I think I found another one I don't understand.
Yeah, seriously. There
Bob Ross
was
enthusiasts.
there was the whole flat earthers, people that believe that the Earth is flat.
Oh my god. Okay, I could do a whole rant on that, but I'm not.
Yeah, hold your breath for a second. There was the people that are against vaccinations.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, anti-vaccines. And then
Yeah.
there was oh god, what was the other one? There was a couple of them. Why don't you do a little bit of rant on the flat earthers while I try to think of what it was?
Um.
Oh god, you put me on the spot.
Yeah, you did. Man, flat earthers. Okay. Problem with these people.
That's it.
Yeah, I don't understand how they like. I know conspiracy theories stuff. Like, it's you have the people that are like, oh, there's chemtrails like coming off of like airplanes, and like UFO crashes have been like we've had aliens here the entire time for like 60 or 70 years, and um, there is government genetic experimentation, and the Illuminati controls everything, and there is absolutely a Bigfoot, which may or may not have more than one, which would probably technically make him Big Feet. But the flat earther thing, where they're like, oh, well, it's been proven that the Earth is round because we have, satellite pictures from orbit that show you that the world is round, and they're like, those are doctored. Like, you can't trust it. That's what the man wants you to think. They want you to think that it's round. If it was round, then how come when I look out into the horizon, everything is flat?
Yeah, the people aren't
Yeah,
convinced. They need to keep going.
yeah, you got me. That's entirely right. Or you're like, oh, if it was round, then why don't people just fall off it then? Because if we're upside down, we just go out. That's not how gravity works.
All right, got
Oh
another
my
one.
god.
Found another one. This is one of
Okay.
the ones I wanted to touch on. Couldn't remember it. Bug chasers.
Excuse me?
Bug chasers.
No, I heard you, but
Yeah, so when you first hear that, you immediately think, oh, it's just someone running around collecting bugs. How harmful can that be, right?
yeah, right?
Let him catch
But
his
I have a feeling this is going to take a
caterpies and
sinister turn for the worse.
let him catch his caterpies and his weedles and venonats, and you get the idea. Apparently, it is when and I am only reading what I see off of Reddit comments. It might not be 100% the case, but from what I understand, it is homosexual males that will purposely try to get AIDS, or HIV rather, so they don't have to have the fear of getting HIV anymore.
Uh, that's that, that is not a thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it is. Too long didn't read. A very small subset of gay dudes are so worried about catching HIV from their promiscuous sexual behavior that they actively seek to be infected so they don't have to worry about catching it. And some others fetishize it like it's cool to have a lifelong disease that would kill you if you don't take a pill every day for the rest of your life.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Words can't even. Um, no wonder we have a hard time making this disease die out when you have people that are actively seeking to go after it.
Actively seeking to go out there. It's insane. Absolutely insane.
Ugh.
And yeah, it's just one of those things. Another one here is plastic surgery, which I kind of agree with. I mean, if you don't need it, then why are you getting surgery? It's kind of ridiculous. I don't know.
I don't know. Like a lot of these is just like because I'm trying to think to myself, I'm like, is there anything I do that would be considered like a weird subculture? Because
Funny you mention that. So here's another one that says, I really don't understand the musician fan groups, like the hardcore fan groups, like the Rihanna Navy and the Katy Cats.
wait, those two are things.
Apparently, um, yeah, I guess they are. But
Rihanna Navy, like,
yeah, I don't get that one either. But
because it was it because she was in Battleship?
I don't know. I mean,
But she could
maybe.
not be a servicewoman. I'm sorry. In that uniform, she looked like a stiff breeze would have broke her in half.
Call me a stiff breeze then. It made me think of you with what's the woman's name? Kesha. That's all.
Oh, the Kesha Coons.
So then there's cheating in multiplayer games.
Because I always call her a trash
But then
bag. Like,
Oh,
raccoons
okay,
go through
okay,
trash
raccoons.
bags.
Gotcha. Whew.
Yeah,
Yeah, what was I thinking? So then there's another
yeah,
one here.
right.
There's another one here, Andy, that
Jeez.
there's cheating in multiplayer games. That the guy's saying like aimbotting, wall hacking, things of that nature. Like what is the
Oh, well, that's
joy?
not really a subculture. It's just douches.
Right, so subculture. Right.
Yeah, something. Although I do know, okay, hold on, that does bring up like a video game subculture to me because there are like legit people that like don't know how to play a game without cheating.
Hmm.
And I don't mean that as like, doing like aimbots and stuff like that. I mean like legit like, if there's, God mode codes or in the example of like open world games like using the commands like in Fallout,
Hmm.
like finding the developer room and like just kind of like getting yourself infinite money, stuff like that. Like people cannot play games without being able to do that crap, and I'm like, I don't understand. You just play the game like it was intended. Like what you don't have to have the entire thing under your control to enjoy it.
Yeah.
I mean, I like playing a game the way it was intended. I do not use cheats until after I've already beaten the game.
This is someone that commented on Juggalos real quick. I'm just gonna do this and then I'm done with it. I had to do one.
I kind of figured you couldn't stay away from that. All
Overheard,
right, what do you got?
overheard some dude who was working in a store talking about the Juggalo life. He said that he lived in a neighborhood and heard that other Juggalos lived there. So he put some type of flag or symbol in front of his house so that they'd find him and be his friends. And then they found him and they had a big party together with his Juggalo friends and the neighbor Juggalo friends. And I mean that's cool, dude, but I just find it confusing.
Okay.
Right, not that big, right? So then someone comments on that saying, I'm not gonna lie, I half expected this to end with, and then they found him and they killed him. And then someone replies to that saying, by overdosing on Fago.
Wow. No,
Along, uh, yeah. They generally don't
accurate.
have many people who care about them, so they form a tight bond and family-like community over a shared taste in bad music, along with a consensus that magnets work based on miracles.
That will forever be my favorite thing in the world to reference.
Oh my god, why wouldn't it?
Oh man. Oh,
So, I legit don't have any clue how long we were going for. I forgot to timestamp this episode like I normally do. That's what happens when you take 2 weeks off, folks. See, Countdown to Geektown, we had a nice, strict format that we had to stick to. It was kind of nice.
right?
We didn't have to make
Even
the
though like I
episode.
felt like we didn't hit certain things as often as we should have, like the trailer section and everything like that, but whatever.
Yeah, well, they didn't really do much free talking neither. They were just like, so, games, right?
Yeah, we had to play games.
So I mean, there's certainly a reason why they do what they do, and we do what we do. They like to plan everything out, and I do mean everything. Kudos to those guys, man. I could not do what they do. We tried it. It was difficult. Couldn't do it again. Literally broke
Yeah,
us. Made it so that we couldn't record for the next week.
right?
And
Should feel bad about themselves.
actually, yeah, there was a little hubbub between me, Jesse, and Eric because the original podcast that I did, Binary Friends, I had Jesse as a guest one time on there, That also, ironically, was the last episode of Binary Friends. So there was the whole thing where, last time I was on a podcast of yours, I broke it. That's not going to happen again, is it? I mean, he made the joke with the Christmas episode too, but, whatever.
Right.
Anyway, so yeah. You think it's time to go into clickbait news already, or I say so, right?
I would actually definitely say so, because like I look, yeah, I think we've been hitting that point, because we're probably going to spend a good half hour on clickbait news. So
Yeah. So,
especially if it's all Florida.
are you excited about it being all Florida?
I am actually. I want to know what kind of weird subculture you got going on with these Florida people.
Now, I want to let you know something. They are all Florida
Okay, he
stories.
didn't originally live in Florida. He's from Denver, but it counts. All right, it happened in Florida.
No, that is not the case here.
Oh, okay.
They are all Florida. I am
Okay.
going to start off with one without it being a clickbait news type thing. I'm not even going to make you guess anything, nothing like that. I've missed it so much. We're going straight into Florida by kicking the door down and going, look at what we have.
Wow. All right.
So I'm just going to go ahead and share screens right away and let you see the whole article as I read it.
Okay. Lay it on me.
Florida man tries to kiss cottonmouth snake and hospitalized after bite. Here's a picture of him, and here's a picture after the bite.
Oh my God, they do not disappoint.
They don't, right? I'm not going to go into the whole article here because, like I said, it's just a little bonus feature I wanted to do real quick. I was like, oh, you know what? I have an extra one. I have 4 of them. So this is the 4th one that I was teetering whether or not I was going to use, and I was like, it'll be a quick little thing I could throw in there.
God, he even looks like a jackwagon.
He certainly does. Okay, that's enough sharing screens because it's time to move on. Okay.
Hey there, little cottonmouth. I want to know if the inside of your face is nice and tender. Oh, you bit me.
So.
After I complimented your soft, sweet mouth.
Hold on a second. I have a title. I gotta jot it down.
Does that cottonmouth come with a silk ass?
Okay. All right. So the first one, Andy. What? What did? God, this one's hard to. I should have just did this one. What did this gentleman? How did this gentleman that just committed theft pass away minutes later?
Oh, he drove the getaway car right into a tree.
Okay. All right, good. I was curious of whether or not that was going to be good enough. I was like, am I giving it away too much? No, I obviously didn't. Thank you, Andy. Suspect stabs himself with the very knife that he stole minutes before he died.
Huh. I guess that brings whole new meaning to You'll Never Take Me Alive.
Plant City detectives have identified Jerry Ellis Ward, 53.
Word.
Yeah, it's W-O-R-D, spelled just like Word, but I was going to say Ward just because I seen Ward. That's just Word.
Wow.
So 53 of Lakeland as the suspect who stole a knife and later passed away from a self-inflicted knife wound. They spelled later wrong. Anyway, Word. Flint City Police say Word unpackaged a knife inside Lowe's Home Improvement Center on James L. Redman Parkway. Police say he concealed the knife and began to leave the store. A loss prevention employee confronted him, and the suspect pulled the knife and threatened employees. He began to run towards the Park Springs apartment complex on Park Springs Circle. He collapsed behind a building of the complex and was found a short time later. Plant City Fire Rescue took him to the hospital and he was pronounced dead. Police said they think. See, now it's Ward. You see, now it's Ward. It's W-A-R-D. Stabbed himself with the knife while he was running away. They were not sure if it happened by accident or if he injured himself on purpose. This is an active investigation. Anyone with information is asked to call. Who gives a damn? That is hysterical.
Yeah, right? It's like, I got it. I got this knife. I'm going to get away. And, oh, my God, what's that feeling?
Is this what I've been doing to people? I'm awful.
Is this what I've been doing to people?
So,
oh, man. Wait, oh, no, see? You don't want to edit. Never mind.
Thanks, buddy.
You're welcome. You're
Okay.
absolutely welcome. But remember, I'm here for you.
Okay. Ooh, the next one is tough because that was the mild story of the three. I just wanted to kind of go into that one because it was involving death, and I figured Countdown to Geek Down would feel right at home that way.
Oh, yeah. No, that story was all for you guys. Enjoy it.
Now this one we're definitely going to save to last, so we will go to this one, which you might think was good for saving for last, but Andy, can you please tell me why this gentleman stole a forklift?
Okay, so I'm stuck on nerdy stuff right now. Because the first thing I could think of was trying to kill Spider-Man. But that's only if you played the video game. He stole the forklift so he could get a loved one out of their house because they're too fat to fit in the doorway.
Close.
Wait, no shit, really?
Yeah. This might make him fat, but anyway. Police. Man says he stole a forklift because it was, quote, better than walking. I see this one and I was like, my God, that does not get much more Florida than that.
That was better than walking.
I'm gonna show you a picture of the winner in question here.
Oh, yeah, let's see. Oh!
Isn't he beautiful?
Okay, remember the show Crank Yankers?
Yes.
Okay, somebody made a Mel Gibson Muppet. That's what he looks like.
Yeah. So he stole a forklift because it was better than walking. Yeah. Just had to give you the proof there. Yeah, so that's, right? Okay. Daytona Beach. Daytona Beach.
Okay.
A homeless man stole a forklift from behind a Best Buy.
Homeless.
Yeah. Stole a forklift from behind a Best Buy store, which is funny because what else do you have to do? Like, how is it better than walking? That's your life, dude.
Yeah.
You literally are homeless, meaning you don't have anywhere to sit. Go walk.
All right, just get a broken broom handle and gondola yourself with a shopping cart. Like,
God,
oh my God, I have new life goals now.
Oh my God, we have. You know what? There's a couple things I want to mention here. One of them is Chuck E. Cheese. The other one is Whimsy Cheese. Both of which I'm not going to mention and continue with the article because I'm not doing that again. A homeless man stole a forklift from behind a Best Buy store, moved some large boxes to a neighboring parking lot, and then took the machine for a spin on Williamson Boulevard, police said. After a Daytona Beach police officer stopped him and asked him what he was doing, Bradley Barefoot, you're kidding.
Bradley Barefoot?
You are kidding. Wow. Bradley Barefoot said he wanted to drive it because it was better than walking, according to the arrest report. Your name is Barefoot, and you don't like to walk.
I can't. Wow.
Wow. Barefoot was driving the forklift around 4 a.m., although the machine had no lights on and it wasn't street legal, the report said. Barefoot, 43,
No kidding.
Yeah, was charged with 1 count of grand theft. He is being held on $5,000 bail at the Volusia County Branch Jail. During the early morning hours on Saturday, Barefoot took the vehicle, a Sunbelt rental Genie telehandler GTH-844 for all you forklift enthusiasts. From
Oh wow.
behind from behind the Best Buy at 1900 West International Speedway Boulevard, police said after stealing it, he used the forklift. This is saying the same thing. He used the forklift to remove large boxes containing unknown items from an area behind the Best Buy and brought them to the Bob Evans at this address, according to the report. So they just added names into that one. Police Barefoot told police he inspected the boxes but determined they had no value, so he left them in the parking lot, and that's when he decided to take the forklift out for a drive. So what happened was he stole the forklift and was like, I'm going to try to take these boxes and see what happens, see if there's anything in them. Let me move them over here where there's probably not any cameras. Yeah. Seeing that they had nothing in them, was like, well, I already made it this far.
Right? Like, I love how it's like one count of grand theft. Like, at what point does something go from, just theft and then crosses that mark to grand theft?
Probably when the valued, when the thing being thefted in question here is valued at $1,000 or more.
Oh, I get a literal a grand theft.
Yeah, man.
That's wow. That is adorable.
Yeah, that's adorable.
That is adorable. Where would you even go with a forklift? Like, could you imagine going through like a drive-through with a forklift?
Oh, absolutely. First of all, if I went through a drive-through with a forklift, I would certainly put it to good use. I will take 57 Whoppers, 57 double Whoppers, and 57 triple Whoppers. Oh, you don't make triple Whoppers? Well, you do today. And I'm buying 57 of them.
Can I get a pallet of chicken nuggets?
Yeah, exactly. It says here that Barefoot has numerous felonies and misdemeanor arrests on his record, a total of 9 since December 2015. In many cases, he was arrested in the vicinity of West International Speedway, according to a police report. In February of 2016, he was arrested on allegations he had ordered a beer at Kerr's Wing House in Daytona Beach and tried to pay for it using an expired credit card that belonged to someone else.
Wow. Although, now I kind of got this image of Mr. Mel Gibson Muppet Face, riding throughout southern Florida with, a dark silhouette of, him on the forklift driving off, past the sunset, righting wrongs.
Right.
Who was that mangy man? It's like, they call him the lifter.
The lifter. Fascinating. Finally, the creme de la creme of Florida stories this week, if you will.
Okay.
Yeah, this headline alone was just like, that's the most Florida thing I think I've ever read before.
Oh, I can't wait for this one.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do with this one, because this one is so special to me.
Okay.
I want you to make up the headline. What is
All
the
right,
most
so it's the
Florida
most Florida
thing
thing
you
you've
come up
ever
with?
heard, huh?
Yeah. I mean, still being somewhat realistic, but it's still very Florida.
Okay. All right. So, okay. Florida man shot and killed after being mistaken for an alligator in a kiddie pool.
That's impressive, but no.
Oh.
I was hoping you would at least get something right. No, none of it.
Oh, wow. All right. Well, that just goes to show you that my story is more Florida than yours.
Oh, I wouldn't be so sure of that. So I should have told you that he was Spanish. Would that have changed anything? Or at least I'm assuming he was Spanish. His last name is Sosa. Or at least Duenas
Last name is
Sosa?
what?
Duenas Sosa?
I mean, I suppose.
you dear Duenas Sosa?
I mean, no, honestly, the answer would have still been the same.
I need a drink. Hold on. Okay, got that bug out of my throat. There we are. So,
Oh, so you finally got HIV?
right. Jesus, bug catching. So, I'm sorry, dude. I want to touch on this for 2 seconds. I know you guys are dying in anticipation to hear this title. The two of you still left. Pollen sucks, and that's all. That is all. I hate pollen.
Preach
Yeah, no, I'm not going to.
it. Okay.
The headline. Machete-wielding naked man attacked mailboxes.
I
Huh?
huh.
Huh? Pretty Florida, huh?
Friday the 13 inches?
But he's only doing mailboxes. and
Yeah.
he's naked.
Yeah, hence the 13 inches.
Oh, I missed that part. Okay, so Cape Coral, Florida. Police in Southwest Florida said they arrested a naked man who was attacking mailboxes with a machete. The news press reports that 36-year-old Yudir Duenas Sosa was arrested Saturday night in a Cape Coral neighborhood. Officers say that Duenas Sosa was taken into custody without incident, but his cousin... Oh, this is right. That's right. This is where it gets better. He was taken into custody without incident, but his cousin was arrested after she charged the officers in an attempt to prevent Duenas Sosa's arrest.
Wait. Why would you charge the police?
Police say the man and woman had been in the area for a party and were both intoxicated.
No shit.
Duenas Sosa faces charges of aggravated assault and criminal mischief, while his cousin is charged with his resisting arrest. Jailed records didn't list attorneys for them. Made me laugh. Made me laugh so much. Because, naturally, I see a headline like that, and I'm like, I have to read this article to see if it's true or not. So I read the entire article, and I was just like, oh my god, it even gets better.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, okay, so maybe it's just rife with sexual innuendos for me, but a nude man attacking mailboxes with a machete, like, goes back to your bug catcher scenario there. It's just, he is penetrating all of those mailboxes.
Well, what's even better is his female cousin stops the police, or tries to stop the police from arresting him.
Yeah, I like how he kind of has that whole thing of like, stop, sir, you're under arrest. And he's like, what for? He's like, you're attacking mailboxes in the nude, sir, with a machete, sir.
Well, you got me.
Yeah, no, I totally see your point.
And then she just comes along, get off my naked cuzzo, and just tackles him. It's crazy.
Ugh.
Like some
Man,
sort of
I wish...
high-flying tag team champions of Florida.
I kind of hope that she was also not nude.
It didn't say that she was, so I'm going to assume that she was not.
I'm going to assume that she was, alright, clothed, good, because that would just be... Why are cousins hanging out naked together? Like,
yeah,
I don't...
that's something we'd have to ask Eric and Jesse. But anyway...
See what you did there.
Yeah, we got to name this bad boy, Andy, and I'm sure you have a few. I'm going to start off with mine, because I only have one.
Okay, what do you got?
Not so Cottonmouth Kisses.
I actually kind of just like Cottonmouth Kisses.
Oh, I do too. I like that one a lot. Yeah, that's this week's edition of the Side Splitters. Episode number 38. Wow. Yeah, that's right. Episode number 38. Cottonmouth Kisses.
Yeah, we only got a couple left.
Aptly titled Cottonmouth Kisses. A couple left.
Cottonmouth Kisses.
A couple left before the decasode. We got 39, and
Yeah.
then we got 40, and it's the decasode. And we'll have Fresco on, and a whole array of new games to play between you and Fresco. It's going to be a blast.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm looking forward to that, too. Get back into the swing of things. Hopefully I have no more technical issues.
Hopefully. In which case, let's see. If it's the 10th now, that means we'll record 39. Let's get ahead of myself here. On the 17th. And 40, Jesus, will be on the 24th. So you can look for decasode number 2, technically 3, on, no, 4, I don't know. Episode 40.
You're
whatever,
so bad with numbers right now.
Whatever decasode that is. What would that be? The second one? We only did one before, right? We only named one of the other ones.
We only really named it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you're about right.
So the next decasode.
As bright as you get, anyway.
Yeah. The next decasode will come out on the 25th of May. So that's something to look forward to.
Yeah, right in time for Memorial Day weekend. You got a nice long weekend. You wanna have some time to yourself, maybe calm down a little bit,
Yeah,
enjoy
crack
some
open.
nice podcasting voices. Well, load you up some side splitters.
Tell you what, we could even do a drinking game with it. For for those 3 fans that are going to listen, we could do. We want you to drink every time. I don't know. I don't know. We'll figure something out. Maybe every time Lyle breaks character. Every time Andy gets a wrong answer. Every time Presco
Wow.
threatens Andy.
Oh man, people are gonna get wasted. Be a good old
uh,
time.
yeah. Every time Lyle makes fun of Juggalos.
Show you some Cottonmouth Kisses.
So, that's episode 38, Cottonmouth Kisses. My name is Lyle.
And I'm forever Andy.
See you next week, guys. Promise.
Yeah, promise. We will see you. Latest.